In dealing with debt, odds are high the Fed will cut rates in September. Let's bring in Ted Rossman, the senior industry analyst at Bankrate.com. Ted, always good to see you. What really changes with consumer debt if the Fed lowers rates?
Credit card rates typically move in tandem with the Fed. Home equity lines of credit are another good example. In both of those cases, if the Fed cuts by 1/4 of a point, it's very likely that current customers will see their rates fall by 1/4 point in the ensuing weeks. Deposit products also track the Fed pretty tightly. So whereas the top yielding savings accounts right now are about 4.5%, if the Fed cuts by 1/4 point, that could well be about 4.25 in a few weeks.
What is less likely to change when the Fed cuts rates?
Some other products track the Fed, but not as directly. I mean, the Fed's an influence, but it's not the only thing. Mortgage rates, for example, often follow in line with 10-year treasuries. So investors are going to be placing bets on what the Fed's going to do, but also other things like economic growth and unemployment and, really trying to peg where interest rates are going to be over the next decade. So there's more that goes into it. Most current homeowners also have fixed mortgage rates, so they're not going to be affected by a Fed cut. Auto loans also tend to track treasury rates. So the Fed's part of it, but what the 5-year treasury is doing is even more than that. And again, most current car owners have fixed rates, so those products will not be changing either. It's less likely that we'll see huge moves in things like mortgage rates or car loans when the Fed moves. Some of this, though, depends on reading the tea leaves. What does Jerome Powell say at the press conference? Who's likely to be the next Fed chair? What are interest rates likely to do in the years to come? That's what's more important, especially for those longer term loans.
You believe fundamentals are more critical than a Fed cut. Explain what you mean.
I just think it's important to think about the fundamentals. It's very hard to time the market, and it's very hard to time interest rates as well. I mean, honestly, it's not the best time to buy a home with prices high and mortgage rates in the mid 6s on average. We could see some improvement in the months and years to come. But don't bet your whole strategy on what interest rates will or will not do. It's really important to practice those fundamentals. Credit card rates are high. The average is about 20%. Honestly, if that fell 1/4 point, even if that fell a few points, that's not going to make a huge difference. What is going to make a huge difference is taking matters into your own hands, paying down that debt, maybe by getting a 0% balance transfer card or taking on a side hustle or cutting your expenses. That's what I mean by practicing the fundamentals and let the interest rate chips fall where they may.
Thanks for your tips, Ted.
No problem. Thank you.